was a bit of a that was a bit of a hang up I wasn't expecting. Excuse me. Anyway, what's good, neighborhood? Welcome back. As promised since the last couple weeks, today we're going to be getting started on Bright Paw. Now, just to let you know, this is something that I'm literally digging into for the first time today as well. All I know about it is what I've learned from the affiliate materials that I got for it, and also from the gameplay videos that I looked up at the time. And again, from what I saw, it just looked like this was going to be a charming little adventure that is going to help me put my brain to the test in different ways other than how I'd usually think in terms of like combos or combat mechanics. Besides, ever since I played those Super Nintendo puzzle games for you, like Tetris Attack and, well, mainly Tetris Attack, but ever since then, I've been wanting to find a decent puzzle game to get back into, and I've also been wanting to find another decent Steam game to get into. And Bright Paw looks like it might be just the ticket. So, with that being said, for everyone that's in, thanks for dropping in. For everyone that's on the way in, welcome, and let's get started. And there we go. Now, just really quickly, as we're getting into the game itself, I want to show you all the settings. Because I was looking at this and I just thought, man, they really did some good stuff here. So, there's the subtitles, assist mode, rumble, all that good stuff in the gameplay settings. Graphics, of course, I want to set this to something that's going to be reasonably playable, not just for this machine, but also reasonably playable for folks that are watching it on Twitch or on YouTube when this goes up. But what's got me is the nifty little accessibility settings. Not just the size of the subtitles, but the color, and we can also turn on colorblind mode too. So it's always good to have more. It's always good to have more stuff that aids the accessibility. Now, when I first fired up the game, I'll just tell you guys right now. When I first fired up the game, it tried to take me right into the what I think is the tutorial without even letting me, hit the settings. So I had to hit escape. So it'll probably put us right back in the middle of that, or it'll probably just let me start it over again. So let's. Okay, so I can just go right to level select and basically start it back over. This is good. So let's check this out.
Oh, there you are, Theo. Honestly, it's your own dream. Do you even
What?
know where you are?
No, I
Well,
don't.
it's time we got you sorted out with these cards. Come on now, we haven't got all day.
Tap and hold a card to preview. Release to play it. So it seems like this is definitely going to be one of those that's more keyboard and mouse, or if nothing else, more mouse based. And I'm already thinking of numerous cat and mouse puns, and I need to stop. Okay, so tap and hold a card to preview, release to play it. So, huh? Okay.
Oh, sorry about that. Just give that rewind button a tap and we'll see if we can't start walking around things instead of into them. If you ever find yourself in a pickle, just remember that you can take a step back and try something else.
Okay. That's
Now,
useful.
give these a whirl and see where they get you.
Ah. Okay, so we have other movement cards. So I guess okay, so each of those squares, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, okay, okay. I I think I'm reading these right. Let's see. And then we'll move forward a bit more. Then we'll move forward one more time. Click and drag to rotate the camera. Scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Okay. Oh, this is nice. This is really really nice. I appreciate this.
There you go. Remember, Theo, you can look around at any time. What's that just there? Maybe you should give it a peek.
Tap on a highlighted object to view a collectible. Okay, this is. Oh. See, this is already getting me thinking, not just about, movement and such, but also because of, well, it's a game where I gotta use the mouse. Let's see, odd cat box. A strangely familiar but otherwise nondescript box, washed up on the shores of Theo's subconscious. Interesting. Well, I think while we're waiting here in this tutorial, let's give it a little bit for folks to let's give it a little bit for folks to pop in. You know, make sure to let them know that the stream is actually going right now. I also want to double check and make sure that right. That's working the way it's supposed to. Good. Oh my god. There we go. I think I know. Yeah, I think I know why my computer's actually slowing up a little bit. And it's because one of my Steam games was in the middle of updating. So I will either have to finish the update or completely stop it and have it update at a different time. Woo. But meanwhile, let's get back to them kitty cat shenanigans.
I wonder what that's doing sitting around here. Maybe you should keep your eyes open for other interesting things. You never know what you'll find. Well, we're done here. Go on, leap into your family's arms. Lauren and Nathaniel are waiting.
Okay, yeah, I definitely got to stick to using the mouse. The controller is not going to do me much good. Okay. So, we'll do 1, 2, 3. And then... let's begin!
What was that? Oh, okay. Well, after being woken unceremoniously by a sudden noise, our hero Theo felt that if he was to be kept awake, he deserved to know why.
I'll say. Let's see. Theo's bed. A note. Acceptance letter for tutelage at a prestigious school. Perhaps proof that genius is hereditary. Joshua's acceptance letter. And the Nathaniel's recognition. It's always a cause for celebration when genius is recognized.
Although Theo felt the lure of sleep and the comfort of his bed, he really should go and investigate this ruckus.
Yes, Mr. Narrator, I know.
Hearing the yelling from the kitchen, Theo wondered if he had really moved from his bed just to listen to some tiff.
Okay, this piano. Hastily packed suitcase. Wait, what's going on?
Despite his efforts, Theo couldn't simply stay here forever. He had to find out what was happening.
Oh.
Perhaps things were a little more serious than he'd thought.
Oh, no. Bodies?
The kitchen seemed normal. Except, what was that he could see across the room? He had to take a closer look. God. Theo couldn't believe what he was seeing. His family, motionless on the floor. But that was it. No gun? Nothing at all. Was someone else here? As he turned away, Theo could only think about one thing. Someone was surely responsible for this, and he had to know who.
Oh, wow. Okay, there's got to be something else here I can find.
Although things looked bleak, Theo had to press on. He had to.
Yeah, you're right. He has to. Alright. Let's keep moving.
Cautiously examining the hallway, Theo saw no signs of the killer. Instead, he found a path of destruction carved through strange machines before him.
Let's see. Grandfather clock. Robot. What? Okay, so move up here. There.
The deeper into the room Theo moved, the more he realized that something was amiss. That bright red light hadn't always been there, had it?
Good question. Lasers? What?
Although he could not shake the image of his departed owners, Theo suddenly found himself somewhere very different indeed. However, before he could appreciate his new surroundings, he found his attention drawn to the glowing hot wall of energy in front of him. Faced with something so clearly hazardous, he thought it might be wise to take a moment to think before diving headlong into oblivion. Oh, what a pleasant surprise! After his daring maneuver, Theo found that he was still alive. Unfortunately, there was one more laser to slip past. Theo glared at the broken robot blocking his path. After risking his life twice, he was in no mood for this obstruction.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree.
Perhaps that broken vent offered salvation.
Okay, let's head in there. You know, for a game that's so mechanically...
Somewhat tense from his previous trial, Theo was immensely relieved to find no deadly lasers when he emerged from the vent. On the other hand, he was instead faced with a functional, frantic, and quite soggy security robot.
Okay. So, immediately, first impressions. This game is, at least from a mechanical standpoint, very chill. You know, it's simplistic in that all I gotta do is just, click the cards, click the cards to make my move. Maybe, click and drag to rotate the camera, Nothing too intense. But at the same time, plotting out those moves gets the noggin jogging. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, let's turn this around. That's not a security robot, that's a janitor robot. Po thing is up and soaked. Let's take a look. There's got to be something. Oh, I can only turn this so far. let's rewind that.
As he skirted by the distracted machine, Theo found himself eyeing the hole-riddled aquarium. Either someone was stalking the halls shooting at water features, or the security needed to work on their aim. Though the appeal of fresh fish was enticing, it was offset by the risk of an unexpected bath. Rather than contemplate such a terrible fate any further, Theo decided to make a quick exit. Advancing cautiously, Theo was encouraged by the sight of another aquarium, this time with the water safely inside, not threatening to unpleasantly dampen his fur. There was no time to fish, however, as security appeared to be taking its job a touch more seriously.
Okay, golden cat statue.
Although Theo could be easily distracted, he knew when it was time to focus.
Yeah, it is time to focus. I'm trying to figure out where I can go, what to do. Huh?
That time had arrived.
Oh boy.
Tearing his attention away.
No! Oh no! Okay, give me just a quick second, y'all.
Tearing his attention away from the unattainable, Theo delicately stepped between the broken remains of some very expensive-looking showpieces. Despite his lack of any understanding of fine art, he was disgusted by the wanton destruction before him.
So I've already gotten this poor cat flattened by a security robot once. And apparently there is an achievement for it. Let's continue, shall we? No. Yeah, let's do that one. No, that's not gonna work.
Although this was a truly awful sight, he couldn't linger here all day.
No, you're right. He couldn't. Hey, what's good, Ryan? Hey, what's up, Hikari? Both of y'all came in just in time to see me racking my brain. Of course, doing so in a good way. Yep.
Having successfully weaved past the searching eyes of the guard, he was overjoyed to see that he could just follow the killer through a door, instead of crawling through the ventilation like a rodent.
And this narrator is awesome.
Theo cast his eyes about the grandiose room, the impressive decor marred by the smoking wreckage of robotic guards. Clearly, someone with no respect for interior design had been this way. However, hanging over the remains of a reception desk, Theo spotted something that took his interest. Bright Paw Industries.
Bright Paw Industries. Well, we got the title drop for the game right there. Let's see. Variety of villainous beverages, unfortunately not designed to be used by felines. Right.
Although this place was impressive, Theo knew he had precious little time to admire it.
Guess I can move that way.
Despite the damage, the underlying class of this Bright Paw establishment was clear. The placement of several large aquariums, brimming with exotic fish, was an inspired design choice that Theo could respect. Theo crossed the room, breathing in the intoxicating fragrance of fish, while taking care to avoid the remaining hazards. As he did, his mind began to wander. Why was a place like this situated beneath his
Hey,
home?
what's up, Zalpar?
And more importantly, why had these fishy treats not been brought to his attention before?
Yep. Cat times indeed.
At first glance, it appeared that Theo had stumbled into a storage room for broken glass. Except there were other items in the glittering fragments. Grenades? Missiles? An umbrella?
When the going gets tough, the tough spend unprecedented amounts on energy weapons.
Wait, did y'all hear that? Did you guys seriously hear that? When the going gets tough, the tough spend enormous amounts on energy weapons? What the hell is going on here?
Bright Paw Industries, putting the U into eugenics.
All right, whoa. Oh no. Oh no. Uh, oh god. Bright Paw putting the U in eugenics. I can't. Me too. I have numerous questions. All right, hold on just a sec, you guys. Hang on.
Welcome to Bright Paw Industries.
Oh, that's some good news. Okay, now, where was I?
Welcome. Did you know that there are 279 different ways in which Bright Paw Industries can make your family?
Theo padded behind the guard, pondering his discoveries. A hidden underground facility, robotic security, and now rooms filled with odd weapons.
Oh my god.
What on earth was this place?
That's a good question.
Thank you for visiting Bright Paw.
Is that a pair of heavily weaponized glasses? Looking back, Theo considered that it was perhaps unwise to leave such destructive toys lying around. On the other hand, there was no way someone would leave live explosives on display. Probably best to ignore it and hurry on.
I have so many questions. Like, what?
Theo contemplated the ruins of the once magnificent boardroom, which had been reduced to little more than burnt mahogany by some kind of explosion. Apparently, the killer had needed to clear the room in a hurry. But why? Oh, perhaps those lasers were a motivator.
Eesh. Need your weapons to It's like, need your enemies to disappear in a hurry? Would you prefer them to be in pieces? Then these are definitely for you. Caution, good throwing arm not included. Wow. What Nathaniel might foolishly consider his first real success in life, sealed by a handshake and immortalized in print.
With the wall of death slowly advancing, Theo scrambled for a plan to slip by. There, across the room, a shattered glass wall offering a glimpse of escape.
Oh god.
Deftly avoiding glass with his paws, Theo found his eyes drawn to a large portrait on the wall. Was that Nathaniel? As he stood, he wondered, how much of all this was his master responsible for?
Oof. God, I didn't get torched right there.
Someone had clearly been rifling through the deliveries recently, though they didn't seem to have found what they were looking for.
Okay, ransack the crates. Oh, patrol bot blueprint. And a box of empty vials. Okay.
Theo had apparently added his name to
Obviously, the killer had been looting the facility, and it was unlikely that they planned to use volatile weaponry to spread peace and joy. Being a conscientious cat, Theo knew it fell to him to put a stop to the killer's nefarious activities.
Alright, where to next?
Finding himself inside a warehouse, the towering stacks of crates gave Theo some measure of hope. Perhaps the killer would try to search the top of an unstable pile and fall to their doom.
Something built to sink ships will have no trouble with an overconfident cat. Not for prodding. Don't touch the mines, dude! Sadly, none of these weapons of destruction appear to be built with paws in mind. The world can be a very unfair place.
Lost in daydreams of the killer being buried alive,
Oh.
Theo stepped blindly forwards onto a conveyor belt, promptly shuffling him away from his happy thoughts.
Oh no!
Perhaps he should pay more attention to where he's going.
Oh, shut up!
Perhaps it was unlikely that the killer would be ended by fallen cargo. But the belts leading into the dark and deadly machinery seemed to promise an untimely demise. Spotting a bundle under some nearby crates, it appeared Theo's wishes had been heard. However, he tempered his excitement until he could get a closer look.
Looted explosives crate. And a completely average box. Okay, let's try this.
Over a broken belt with great care, he was disappointed to discover not a body, but simply several empty crates bearing the label High Explosive.
The empty crates led Theo to conclude three things. The killer had found what they were looking for, they were definitely up to something, and Theo's work was not yet done. He moved on with the hope that the killer's loot would be enough to slow them down.
There we go.
Theo pondered the erratic crusade of the robots as they fired at non-existent threats. Perhaps the killer had just passed through?
Ooh, this. Ooh. Nah, this one's gonna be interesting.
The belt, unable to tell the difference between a cat and a crate, and lacking the desire to learn, moved him once again as it would any other box.
Wait a minute. Turn this around. laser bot. Algae container. And what's the third collectible in here? It's got to be around somewhere. Maybe the algae itself? Well, either way it goes.
As he headed for the door, Theo couldn't shake the feeling that the strange blue algae was creeping steadily across the wall behind him.
Lines carefully etched into concrete that vaguely resemble a cat. The determination of the artist excuses their lack of attention to detail.
Oh well, it was probably harmless. Whoever Theo was following had certainly spooked these poor robots who were all consumed by blind panic. As he carefully padded forwards, avoiding lasers, Theo noticed the most curious drawing etched into the wall. But why would a killer stop to doodle?
Sorcerer's patterns, not a clear meaning, some kind of code.
Oh no!
Well, that could have gone better.
Oh no no no!
Well, that didn't work out. Okay, so now move there. Move there. Whew.
Theo couldn't stop thinking about the bizarre graffiti he kept seeing. It was unlikely the killer was taking the time for artistic creativity. Was someone else in the facility?
There we go. Ooh.
As he stepped into the room, Theo found his racing mind halted by yet another drawing of a slightly more significant scale.
Okay, that's a drawing of someone. What could be going on there? And also, a gun rack. A rack of very lethal and very illegal firearms. A bestseller.
Theo tried his best to examine the etching, but found it devoid of artistic value.
Okay, so what happens if I wait? And then...
A for effort, he supposed.
Okay, I most certainly don't. Okay, so go move there. No, that'll move me right into the lasers. Both of those will. So what if I wait on here?
As he began to move away, Theo couldn't help but wonder who would put so much effort into these acts of vandalism. Was it maybe some kind of poorly drawn calling card? Perhaps, he thought as he carried on, the murderer was simply an awful artist. Whatever it was, the mural failed to hold Theo's interest long enough for any meaning to be gleaned.
Maybe Theo's interest, but I'm still really wondering what...
According to the booming
What's behind
sounds
these?
of heavy industry and the massive shipping containers, Theo had found himself in some kind of loading station.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, we've got a cargo container. And something else going on over here. An obvious tie.
Theo's eye was caught by something colourful and clearly out of place hanging from a rail across the room. A discarded tie. Was this some kind of taunt?
Ooh.
It was becoming clear to Theo that the large boxes wouldn't just wait for him to cross, so he quickened his pace towards the infuriating clue. Clearly, the killer had left this tie to send a message, but in doing so, they had left a trail for Theo to follow. Perhaps he'd get the better of them yet.
I wonder.
Though Theo he was intrigued by the surprisingly expressive train waiting before him. On the other side of the tracks, a curious hole in the wall drew his eye. Perhaps the killer had made their own exit.
Looks the part. Let's see, we got a covered crate. A train robot. A zero-emission, semi-sentient train fueled only by its self-hatred over public transport. What? Hold on. Alright, dog's been trying to get my attention for something, and I'm trying to figure out what. Let's get back to it for now. Yeah, right. Train robot thinks what we're... It's like train robot feels what we're all feeling.
Stepping onto the train, Theo glanced towards his goal and noticed a strangely carefree-looking robot bumbling around near a control panel. Hopefully this one wasn't a threat.
God damn it, robot!
And Theo couldn't react fast enough to leap off. He had better find something to hold on to.
Damn you, robot!
Theo was quite unprepared for the sudden velocity and found his current predicament extremely upsetting.
He's not the only one.
Luckily, he just needed to hold on until the train looped back to the station.
Oh, probably won't be you. No, 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 no.
As the hatch broke free and rocketed past him, Theo pressed himself against the train and vowed to dedicate the rest of the ride to keeping his eyes open for low-flying objects of feline destruction.
Good advice.
Theo might have found some comfort knowing he wasn't the only one caught unaware by the sudden departure. But it was all he could do to just keep his paws on the ground.
Okay, this is kinda intense.
robot distract him from his efforts to survive!
You didn't have to mention the burning robot, though, because, well, yeah, kind of distracting.
In the distance, Theo could just about spot the station, approaching at a rapid pace. He just had to hold on a little longer.
Yeah, kittens really get up to some stuff.
Theo staggered off the train quickly, driven by his newfound appreciation for solid ground and the terrible fear that it might suddenly set off again.
Yeah,
Just ahead of him, he could see that bloody robot that had sent the train off in the first place. As he followed the irritating machine through the jagged opening in the wall, Theo hoped that he wouldn't ever have to lay eyes on it again.
oh my god. Oh, this is this is great. I am legit enjoying this.
Theo eyed his new surroundings curiously, noting the piles of unused tiles and pipes. Across what little floor existed, there was a sharp drop from which a blinding light and tremendous heat emanated. Besides this abyss sat... that bloody robot.
Building materials and...
It appeared that turning off the machine was the right course of action, as the strange barrier obscuring the exit had quickly vanished.
All that's left now is just to make sure that robot doesn't turn it back on. Please don't let the robot turn it back on.
Theo was happy to move on and leave that robotic liability behind. Surely the killer couldn't be too far now. Entering another area with limited flooring, Theo wondered why all of these rooms seemed so unfinished. Maybe they're... starting to look like Theo might have a tail. No pun intended.
God damn it. Damn you, robot. Alright.
Oh, apparently Theo's new friend had some value after all.
Thanks, buddy.
As the oblivious robot scampered over an obvious switch, Theo braced for the consequences.
Whew. Okay, did it. Hey, what's good, Fluffy? Good to see you.
Contemplating the state of the room ahead, Theo reluctantly accepted that perhaps the robot's help might be necessary.
Oh my god. I'm gonna need a I'm in need a brief moment. Sorry, just a couple things I want to look up real quick, but also, I think I might probably need to. Oh, wow. So, quick heads up for everybody that. A quick heads up for everybody that's not looking around on Twitter right now, but it looks like some news just came out that the Twitch game store is going to be shutting down after November 27th. The feature, which allows you to buy games directly from the store, as well as allowing users to support streamers, it's okay. My guess is that the Twitch game store, the Twitch game store is probably shutting down because of the Amazon Luna that's getting ready to come out. So instead of being able to buy games to support streamers on the Twitch store, they just put out their own cloud gaming service, and it's like, hey, streamers don't get shit. Just buy the games from us and be done with it. Yeah. So, yeah. That's some interesting news. I can work with that and greatly appreciate it, Fred. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just honestly, even with as many titles as I currently own through Steam, and even with my, I guess, even with my positive opinion towards Steam as a service, at least as it stands right now, this whole this whole move toward all digital gaming and cloud gaming is just it's the move towards an entirely digital entertainment medium is a move away from physical ownership, and that's an intrinsic part of gaming as a hobby. It's not just the games themselves, it's not just playing the games themselves, but it's the collection aspect too. I guarantee you from Steam that in the worst case scenario, if servers shut down for anything, exactly, like if anything happens that you'd still be able to get your games without having to be online, without the DRM. And what's more, just like you mentioned, Cinerus, the lowered cost of getting these games out to people should be forwarded to the customer, but it's not. And that's why you've got articles like, some analyst saying that gamers would have no problem paying $70 for game, no problem would have no problem with prices going up on games going into the next generation. But again, there's still the whole there's still the whole issue of the lie that people were told about how, going digital means they don't have to worry about printing discs or printing instruction manuals, so it's supposed to save money in the long run. But who's the one actually saving? It's not the consumers. Exactly. If something happens to Steam and it just gets and it's forced to fold and shut down within the next week or something, or even tomorrow, if they turn around and say, "Hey, considering all your games, this is the storage space you need to keep them," that would be a great move on Steam's part. And I think ultimately, you could almost say that Gabe Newell would be seen as a hero to gaming enthusiasts across the world. Okay, this dog is really pestering me as far as trying to get my attention. I think I might need to take him for another walk, or for an emergency walk. So, we're gonna put the stream on intermission for a few minutes, but I'll be right back to play through some more Bright Paw in a little bit. But yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna be ending the stream, just going AFK. But I'll be back. Hey, everybody. Apologies for the extended intermission, but I take the dog out for a walk just for him to basically get caught up in barking at other dogs walking past. Ugh. Needless to say, he got himself so riled up that I actually had to crate him on punishment. He'll probably be he'll probably be coming out of the crate pretty soon, though. Whew. In the meantime, though, let's get back to it. Riona, good to see you in. Where were we? Lava pipe. Well, let's start with the switch.
As he threw a disparaging glance at the machine, Theo noticed some worn writing on his chassis. D4Z.
Interesting. Alright, which card's it gonna be? This one.
As a loud noise reverberated behind Theo, he wondered just what he had done to be cursed with a trundling mishap. Though his companion seemed to be some kind of cosmic setback magnet, Theo had to admit, Daz was endearing, aggravatingly so.
Okay. So, back to our conversation from earlier before I took the dog out for his walk.
D4Z. D4. Daz. Dazi? Daz. Ooh, Daz. Daz isn't bad.
But yeah, as far as our conversation from earlier, it seems like, well, not seems like,
Overwhelmed by the heat pouring from the broken machine, Theo mourned the obvious failings of engineering safety standards. How on earth was he going to reach the elevators beyond this mess?
the further and further that companies keep pushing toward cloud gaming and all digital, the further away we get from, actual ownership of the stuff that we buy.
Theo flinched when he heard the now familiar sound of Daz activating another switch. He cautiously opened his eyes and was pleasantly surprised to see something positive had finally come from this robot's help.
Yes, you could say that.
Although he had reached the elevator, Theo couldn't just abandon his eager companion. There was a chance he could prove useful again. A slim chance. Very slim. But still. the elevator rattled to a screeching halt, Theo found himself suspended on what could kindly be referred to as a rough and ready bridge, or not so kindly as an invitation to a long plummet to certain death. Theo watched as Daz leapt gracefully down onto the scaffold to aid in his journey across.
Okay, that's one piece of foundry. Okay, now it's just foundry in general. Let's see. Geothermal generator. Pipes and...
Theo stared at him, shaming Daz with his steely gaze.
Alright.
Considering the barrier ahead of him, Theo wondered if Daz could assist him once more, with the right guidance, of course.
Oh, wait, no. Let's run that back. Okay, so yeah, I do need to go across. Oh. Okay.
Theo found he quite enjoyed the company of the small robot, when he wasn't actively annoying him. The unlikely companions set off into the cave, ignoring the tribal warnings decorating the entrance. They were
Modern technology meets primitive methods.
probably just for show anyway. The large chamber was filled with the clanks and groans of tortured metal, punctuated by the steady drip of stagnant oil.
Okay, laser bot blueprints. Dangling bot corpse.
Faced with a seemingly impassable split in the floor, Theo stopped to think of a way around. Wait, did he just... disregarding the danger, Daz bravely leapt into the chasm to aid his feline companion. Surely he'd be fine.
I hope. Come on, Daz.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no. Oh, no. And suddenly, with as endearing as Daz was
Stunned by the
becoming,
loss of poor Daz, Theo slowly padded onwards, barely noticing the more polished and functional walls around him.
okay, so we got a hazmat suit. Yep, Daz sacrificed himself for great kitten things. Okay.
The only way to proceed seemed to be through a strange airlock. As he stepped inside and felt his hair begin to rise, he wondered if something was amiss. Huh? Ah! Ah!
Something was definitely amiss. Oh no. Yo.
Well, thoroughly perplexed, Theo could only hope he wouldn't spontaneously burst into a cloud of electrons in the near future.
What? Hey, what's good, Blue? I am... What is going on with this
Despite the
place?
lingering crackles of energy in his fur, Theo found himself occupied with a rather spectacular plume of fire between himself and his goal.
Okay, where to? No.
With nothing to hand to bar the flames and unwilling to risk singeing his whiskers, Theo was unsure of how to proceed. There must be something he could do.
I just noticed the new card.
Amazing! It appeared that the mishap Theo had experienced had changed him in some fascinating ways.
Oh, now Kitty Cat's got superpowers? That's crazy. Yeah. You know, that would actually be a pretty good formula for a good solid Yakuza live action series.
Before another jet of flame could spring up, Theo slipped deeper into the labs. Hopefully the worst was over, but if not, these newfound powers could prove quite helpful. Upon entering, Theo noticed there was a bridge leading straight to the door he needed. A definite positive. However, a large section had decided on a career change and was currently enjoying its new life as debris below. Laughing in the face of those without strange abilities, Theo casually willed a path into existence.
Okay, there's the orange goo. And I have zero clue where the other collectibles in this stage are.
Theo quickly sauntered across his creation, hoping that physics wouldn't try to reassert itself at an inopportune moment. Once again, Theo entered a laboratory which would have been quite easy to cross, if not for the disorganized heap of crates cluttering the corridor. It was always something.
Okay, so we got heap of cat boxes, splicing machine.
These delays were rapidly becoming infuriating.
What if? Nah, let's go back. Wait. Oh, that's the exit. Let's turn that off.
Glancing at the important-looking hardware in the lab, Theo dismissed a feeling of déjà vu. There was no way he'd been here before.
Or had he?
Yes! Finally! Theo rushed through the doors.
And yeah, there has to be at least one episode
No.
of Kiryu
No,
doing.
no, no! What happened here?
Wait. Now we've gone from telekinetics to clones? Okay, I am officially concerned. Yo, this game goes places all right.
Christ! They can't all be ruined, can they? I built this equipment! I implemented failsafes. Surely some of them must have made it!
Okay, Mr. Narrator. I'm becoming a little concerned.
Oh god, no! It's all gone! What am I going to do? I can't stay trapped like this forever!
What? A sign warning the risks of accidentally splicing genes together. It's not entirely clear how that can happen accidentally.
There's no way I'll be able to start again with things in this state! And it's not like you'd be able to help! You probably don't even understand what's happening right now!
No,
God. Lauren,
I don't understand what's happening right now.
oh, well! Whoever did all this to me was bloody thorough! Just look, Theo! All of my work, every scrap of progress, reduced to bent metal and shattered glass!
Okay, we got ruined samples. Project notes and gloves on or hands off. Very good advice. It is filthy down here. Oh, I see.
Clearly, whoever did all of this had some training. I bet it was MI5. Or maybe those umbrella-swinging secret society ponces. It's just their style to break into someone's home and trash everything in the name of Queen and Country. The bastards!
Something is going on
Christ!
here.
This hardware's supposed to be hard to damage. Well, lesson learned. Don't buy from the bloody Bratva. Strong Russians steal my ass, Koskov.
Okay. That might very well be what's going on with the narrator right now.
Ah! All my work, my genius, and this is how it ends? I can't even do anything. I'm just along for the ride on the Theo Express. At least our chances of escaping here alive are minimal at best, so I won't have to suffer this joke of an existence for too damn long.
Dude, but Theo's your cat. Yeah, I am already convinced. You know, just like you said, Riona, I'm convinced that the narrator is probably Nathaniel. And he's somehow stuck inside Theo's mind now.
I don't know, Theo. Maybe there's still a chance. We could escape this place and start from the ground up. Even with paws, we could try, and there'd still be viable samples on the bodies back at home. Maybe we could still save her.
Okay. Yeah, sprinting through those stages. Oh. Hello.
But it would take years starting from nothing. Even if we did manage to collect viable samples, we'd have no way of storing them for that long. And I never found the chance to make a backup of her mind.
What are you talking about, making backups of people's minds? What the hell?
I just can't believe she's gone. At least Joshua didn't get caught up in all of this.
Oh, and here we are in depression.
Who am I kidding? I'm not even me. I'm just a copy of Nathaniel's bloody mind squeezed into a brain the size of a tangerine. No offense, Theo. Honestly, it's amazing that we're both still alive in here at all.
Okay. So yeah.
I've been hiding out in you for months without a body of my own. And when I saw him lying there dead in the house, I thought maybe I'd have my chance.
What? Dog. Right? Yo, his data compression game is strong. Wait. Oh no, we gotta go back. Go back. Wait. Go this way. Okay, that's not gonna fly. Okay, none of that's gonna fly either. Okay, so I gotta go this way. Okay. Smash your step sign. Sweet. Interesting. Oh. And the cat gets torched.
Do you know what's really strange, Theo? The thing I miss most about having a body, more than anything else, is being able to wiggle my toes. It's bizarre. You'd expect something more grandiose, but it all comes down to the little things in the end. I would literally kill to feel a foot cramp again.
That was a tough one.
Christ, watch out for those lasers, will you, Theo? Just remember, anything that happens to you happens to me.
I'll keep that in mind. Oh no. Oh, back it up.
So this is all I am now? Just a disembodied voice in a cat. Well, it could be worse, I suppose. The earliest experiments were on lesser creatures. Could you imagine scurrying around here trapped in the body of a mouse? Doesn't bear thinking about. You wouldn't still be up for chasing down the killer, would you, Theo? I'll take that as a yes. Nothing like a bit of revenge to get the blood up. Oh no!
Oh, toasted again. There we go. So then we put... Wait, no, we cancel that. Wait. We drop the side block
Come on, Theo! Let's
there. And then we move forward. There we go. Woo.
I must say, Theo, it is quite a relief to drop the pretense and just talk to you straight for once. I couldn't just be honest with you before, you understand? I mean, what was I supposed to say? Hello, Theo. Don't mind me, I'm just a strange voice in your head. Now be a dear and do exactly as I say.
Okay, that'll put me right. So what if I do this here?
My God. Why on earth did I make the laser unit so skittish?
I can't believe I managed to make them so alert and yet so inept.
Let's drop the side there. That
What?
was one of the
That
focus.
shutter should always be firmly sealed shut. Does this agent have no respect? No common decency at all? Get in there, Theo. I won't let this stand.
Okay, doorstop bot and an abandoned hazmat suit. Ooh, something was going down. Woo!
I haven't been here in a very long time. Looks like the flora managed to thrive in my absence. But I can't say the same for the hardware. How on earth are we going to get around all that?
We'll find out next time. But at this point, we're going to go ahead and drop the stream for today. I greatly appreciate you guys coming in to hang out with me. And right now, Bright Paw is up on Steam. So if you guys want to go ahead and check it out, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, let me go ahead and drop you this link real quick because honestly, I would really like to see you guys. I'd like to see you guys actually pick up this game and try it out for yourselves, huh? I mean, you can buy it directly off of Steam, or if you go through the link that I just posted in the chat, then not only will you still be able to buy it at the at the Steam store price of $9.99, so $10, but also once again, it's another way to help your boy out because I do get a revenue split off of everyone that purchases this game through that link. So please, by all means, if nothing else, if you like what you saw here, give the game a shot for yourselves, or if nothing else, give it a purchase so that way it'll be another avenue to help out the channel. But if you want to see more Bright Paw, I'll be back with it tomorrow afternoon. But until then, I'm thinking I might go ahead and I might broadcast a grind session later on today. But we'll see how that goes. I'll be sure to let you know. Until then, though, once again, you have yourselves a top-notch Thursday. Stay good, neighborhood.